Hello, we're in Great Helm Playtest 2, and we're going to be doing the first scenario for the campaign. So I've got my two teams. We have our chunky Chaos Warriors in their heavy armor. They're all WYSIWYG. And then we have some Beastmen. This is the only one that's in heavy armor. He has a great axe. Other than that, they're all going to be WYSIWYG. This is medium armor with a great axe. And then I've got two more in medium armor with great axes. And then I've got two with light armor and shields. So these guys, pretty good. See how they work out in the game. All right. Round one. All right, as for the special rules for the first scenario in the campaign, you pick out, you get six momentum to divvy out in your army. So he has two, and then I gave 2 momentum to each one of the great weapons. So the first 6 is going to be spent by the green team, and they're going to go, which we're doing the advanced, so they could simply walk or run, but run is, so they gain 5 inches, but they're not contacting an enemy. So he's going to run 5 inches. He's going to gain 2 momentum, but he's only going to get up to a max of 3. All right, so the other team is going to spend a 6 as well, and we're going to move 6. This guy don't need to move 6, but we're just going to run right into base contact and put him up to 3 momentum. And then back to these guys who are going first because they have the initiative. And so, again, he is going to go 6, so you can contact him, begin to get into the brutal melee of it all. Which he's going to be now up to 3 momentum as well. And then they have another 6 where the other team doesn't, and so they're going to be able to go again. And so with that, we're going to just try to waylay this guy. He moved first, he screwed up. And so we're going to get him, he's got 3 on 1 now. And he's only got medium armor. I don't really like his odds, but we'll see. So we're now down to a 5 now, and they have 1 5, and so that's a walk action. So we're going to be spending this first one just to get him more up the board. He's moving 4 inches. And that'll be that 5 spent. Now I've got 2 5s here, and I think we're going to use all of those. We're going to get him into combat here. Now he is gaining 1 momentum, which will put him up to 3. And then I think we're going to go ahead and try to mitigate some of this advantage if we can, or at least give advantage to our team as well. And so we're going to just use that by dropping him right in there with a walk. And he will gain 1 momentum with an engage. Okay, so that's going to be both of their 5s. Now we're down to 4s. Nobody has any. Down to 3s. Green is going first. And so 3 is a step action. I think we're going to drop that down to a 2 and just skip the 3. For these guys, they have lots of 3s. They have 4 3s. And so what we're going to do actually is we're going to drop all of those down to 2s. All right. And so now we're on to step 2. Green goes first. So their first attack with initiative step 2 is going to be, I believe we're going to use this guy because he has 1 and 2 and 3 guys in base contact with this model. They're in base contact with him. So he will be giving a +1, +2 to attack him. Now it is a light melee, so he's not going to get any other pluses unless he spends momentum. So we're going to be doing that. Let's go ahead and spend, I tell you what, let's just spend all of our momentum, see if we can't really smash this dude up. Okay, so that's going to be 3, 4, 5, so +5. And he does have medium armor. He is going to attempt to dodge, which he will get a +1 to his dodge. So dodging with a +1, so +1 to a +5. Oh, well, that's great. So that's going to become a 6 because that's +5. And that's going to become a 6 because that's +1. However, attacker wins ties. So we're going to be rolling on the armor table. Now, 1 or 2 will be pierced. Not great. It is a 5, so he takes damage as normal. He will only take 1 damage, so he will have 2 wounds remaining. All right, so that was their first light melee attack, or fast attack. And so now we're on to these gentlemen. I think we're going to, with the gentleman who is who's wounded, we're going to attack into this gentleman over here with the great axe. I am going to spend all 3 of my momentum, just get a +3 momentum. So +3, I am going to get the +1 because I'm in base contact with him and him. These 2 are in base contact, and they're both base contact with this gentleman. So +4. So he's going to dodge, or no, he's going to parry. So yeah, that's going to be a 6 against a 5. It's going to go through, see what his armor does. It takes damage as normal. It's only 1 damage, so he's going to be on 2 wounds. We're going to go back over to green, and Mr. Gentleman here who just got attacked, he's actually going to attack the guy with the shield, and so he has 3 momentum. So let's go ahead and spend that momentum, which, by the way, he would have retroactively, he is going to gain a momentum, and he is going to gain a momentum because they both successfully attacked. This gentleman is attacking here. He is going to spend all 3 momentum, so it's going to be a +3 to a +1 because of his shield, because he is going to block. Well, that's tough. So that's 4 to 3 +1, so it's 4 to 4. However, he wins ties. So now this is where it gets really dangerous. Light armor table. He is a 1 to 3 is pierced, which he is pierced, so he takes 2 damage. So he's down to 1 wound left. Not great, but hey, it worked out. So now we're going to go back to purple, which I think what we're going to do is we're going to take the chance and we're going to drop all of our 2s here to 1s. Just because all of my guys with axes are now going to get a +1 to their heavy melee. So starting off with green because they have initiative, they're going first. Again, he's going to just wipe this guy off the face of the board. He only has 1 momentum because he would have gained that from the successful attack. He is going to drop that momentum, and he's attacking here. So it's going to be a +1 versus his +2 for dodging, because I do apologize, he is in contact, so he's going to get a +2, which doesn't really matter. So that's going to be a 2 for him against his 6, so nothing happens. So that's kind of nice. I don't remember off the top of my head if he gets a momentum for successfully defending with a block. If you remember, let me know in the comments. All right, so now we're on to 3 heavy attacks. 3 heavy attacks here. I think we're going to start with this guy, which is going to be just wonderful. He's going to go into the guy who's already wounded. He is going to spend his momentum. All right, so we're going to be at a +1, 2 for his weapon against his parry. So +2 So no plus at all, which he gets a 6 for his defense, which is great. However, he is going to be at a 6 as well, and a 6, he's going to win the tie. I believe that's how it works. So it'd be 6-6, and he wins the tie. So he will take 2 damage, which will just wipe him off of the board, which will also make him drop an initiative dice. Now, we get another melee attack, heavy melee attack. This guy he's feeling his blood is up. He is going to turn to the next gentleman, and he's going to attack, except he doesn't have any momentum. Or no, he does, because he would have just killed a guy. So he would actually have 2, 1 for the successful attack, 1 for killing a gentleman. He's going to spend that momentum to get a +3 on his attack against a +0 parry, which, so 2 to 1, but he is going to be a +3, so it's going to be 4 to 2. So we are rolling on the armor table. Ooh, got a 5, so he takes damage as normal. That's 2 wounds, so he has 1 wound left. And then we're going to go to our last activation for this round. He's going to activate again and try to finish him off. He would have gained a momentum for that. We're going to go ahead and spin that, so we're going to get a +2 for him against his parry. So it is going to go through. That's going to be a 4 to a 7. It'll go through, see if his armor holds up. His armor is, boom, big 6 right there. It bounces off. His armor's great. No, nothing. That's the end of the first round. We do need to take a courage test for this guy, and this guy. So let's see. I've not done courage tests yet, so I'm going to do those off camera. Round 2. All right, so funny enough, I rolled 6s for both of my courage tests, which would have been this gentleman and this gentleman. He's not in base contact with anybody, so he's good. So no need to worry. We are rolled up. So the Chaos Knights did win to see who is going first, so they are going to be going first. So they're going to drop a 6, and this guy is going to try to get into the action. So he's just going to bust right up into there and gain 2 momentum. All right, so we're going to go on to this 6 over here for the other team. Now this gentleman has 2 momentum from the start of the game. I think we're going to be spending that, or no, not spending the momentum. We're going to be moving. Yeah, let's do that. He's going to move over here to encircle this gentleman and gain 2 more momentum, which he can only hold 3, so he'll be at 3 momentum. Then we're going to go back to their set, to the Chaos Warriors. They have another 6, so we're going to see if we can't get there. Yeah, just barely. So he's going to be in, gaining 2 momentum. So that's all of our 6s. Now we do have some 5s. However, I'm going to drop the first 5 down to a 4, which then it would fall over to the green team, but they don't have any 5, so I get to go again. I'm going to drop those all to a 4. Now we are into initiative step 4, and green is going first, so they do have 1-4. So they're going to use that. I do believe he's going to try to bash this big, heavily armored gentleman because he doesn't really like him there. It is clash test, so he is going to parry the bash. He is going to drop a momentum on this to get that +1 to the bash. So it's going to be +1 to a regular roll. Well, he got a 6. But he got a 6 as well. So this is where I do have questions, right? And so he rolls a natural 6, but this becomes a 6 as well with the +1. So it could be a perfect clash. Yeah, let's do it as a perfect clash. They bounce off one another, they roll again. All right, so 5 and 5, he gets a +1. And so he is going to get the bash off, which is going to push him 3 inches, and he's going to lose all of his momentum, which is 3 momentum is kind of a big deal. So he's way back here at the beginning. I believe that's the 3 inches. Yeah. So he's way back there at the beginning, loses all his momentum. Sucks for him, but that's life. Okay. Now we're going to be on to bash for the beast warriors, beast men. And we're going to be using him to bash this gentleman, which he has 3 momentum. I really want this to go off, so I'm going to use 2 momentum to make that go off, which, by the way, he is going to gain a momentum because of his successful attack or successful clash test. So 4 to a 1, but he only added 2, so he's not going to get it off, which sucks, but that's life. All right, so which he successfully defended with a block, so it doesn't matter. I don't think it matters, but anyway. So I'm gonna now, I've got 2 4s left, but they had none, so I'm gonna drop both of these down to 3s because I want to get more attacks. That's what I want. I want more attacks. So then we're on to initiative step 3. Green is going first, or the Chaos Warriors are going first. So for their action, they're just going to step 2. He's already in base contact with this guy, as is this guy. Nobody's in base contact with him. I don't think anybody needs to be stepping. So they're going to drop that down to a 2. Same thing over here now. They have no more 3s. I have 3 3s here. So we're going to be dropping all of those down to 2s. We're going to be going in with some light melees, big time. All right, so green team is going first. Chaos Warriors are going first, so they'll use their first step 2 initiative dice. And this guy's on 2 wounds, so he's just going to try to eliminate him. And so he has 2 momentum. We're going to use all of that momentum. So he's going to get a +2 with a +1 because they're both in base contact with him. So he's getting at a +3 to him. He is going to try to dodge because he does get a +1 to dodge for medium armor. So it's going to be a +4 against, or no, sorry, a +3 against a +1, which is not going to work. So he will roll on the armor table. He does get a 4, so it's just regular damage, which is only 1 damage. So he's going to be down to 1 wound left. And that was that was their first initiative dice for step 2. So we're back on to us. This guy is going to light melee attack into him. I don't have any momentum. He's going to try to parry. He's going to get a +1 to parry because there is a gentleman. They're all 3 in base contact, so he's getting a +1 to a regular roll. So it's a 5 to 5. Attacker wins, ties. So it will go through. Let's roll on the armor table, see what happens. Oh, gruesome death. I don't have any gruesome death markers yet. However, but that will be beautiful. And so he has to take an act, or he blah, 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 blah. So he has 2 gentlemen who have died because he has to now take a courage test because someone gruesomely died next to him. I believe that's how it works. So he gets +1 against him for each gruesome death. And then so he's going to be at a +3. So pretty much he needs a 6, which he does not get. And so he flees the battlefield. He's scared. He's so scared. This guy, man, this guy is a monster. He's working on having a name. All right. And so that was our first light melee with them. All right, so now we're going to be coming back over to green. They're going to light melee. He's going to light melee into him. It's the only thing that makes sense at this stage. So he's going to go ahead and spend both of his momentum to get a +2 against him. He's going to try to dodge to get a +1, which +2 is going to be 4, or 3. I can math, I promise. And then plus 3 would have plus 1, so 4 to, it's going to be 3 to 4. So he is going to successfully dodge, and he's going to use that to move an inch, which I think, now correct me if I'm wrong, but he can move an inch and still be in base contact with him. He'll like hop along over here. And now he's still in base contact, but he's no longer in base contact with this gentleman, which is a big deal. Which this gentleman has 1. So he successfully defends, so I do believe he gets 2, or gets another momentum for a successful clash defense. All right, so that was their last light melee. No, yeah, that was their last light melee. So now we're moving on. Now I look at the board and I go, these guys don't have any more initiative dice, and these guys do. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop all of our 2s to 1s, because I get a +1 with every weapon on the table for the Beastmen for heavy melee attacks. So we're going balls to the wall, heavy melee all the way. This gentleman is going to heavy melee this gentleman, spending the first of their initiative dice. He is going to go ahead and add that +2, so he's going to be at a +4. +1 for him and his buddy being in base contact with this gentleman. And then +1 for his weapon, +2 for his momentum. So it's going to be a +4 against his +1 because he is blocking. And he has a shield. So +4, 8, +1, 4. Totally decimates him. What's his armor do? His armor is at 2. So he is taking damage as normal, so it's going to be 2 damage. So he's going to have 1 life left. Then we got to go right back to it. Heavy attack. He's going to heavy attack him again. He's not going to be able to, or he is going to get 1 momentum because he did make a successful clash attack. So he's going to spend that. So again, he's going to have now a +3 to this gentleman's +1, which is great because this is going to be a 4 now, and this is going to be a 3. So it is going to go through again, see what happens to the armor. It is a 3, which is going to just wipe him off of the face of the planet. He died. Goodbye. Which, yay for this dude. Which he is then now going to get momentum, or two momentum. 1 for the successful clash, 2 for the successful slaying of a foe. Now I've got 2 initiative dice left, but I don't have anybody in base contact, so that is going to be the end of round 2. Round 3. So the Chaos Warriors have now dropped 4 dice from their activation pool, which is crushing because it now leaves them with 3 dice, whereas the Beastmen, even though he's on 1 wound and he's on 1 wound, these 2 guys have just pulled it out, and so they still have all 7 of their initiative dice. So round 3, we're going to see a lot of movement and a lot of attacking from the Beastmen, but there's only 2 Chaos Warriors left, so that's going to be tough. They go first because they have the only 6. So this gentleman, I tell you what, this guy, he's tired. He wants to get in. He's tired of watching. He is going to get into the fray. Get his 2 initiative for charging. Then we're on to initiative step 5. For 5, we're going to be engaging. I do believe that's going to be the best thing to do. I think this gentleman is going to move 2 and then 2, so he's going to move a total of 4 to engage and gain a single momentum. And then it's going to be Green's turn. This guy, he's got to try to get into it. Got to try to get into it. He's only going to get 4 inches though, so I don't think he's going to quite get there. So I think he's just going to kind of set himself up in case, just in case he can do something. You never know. Then we're on to step 3. For their first activation, because the beastmen are going first, he's going to try to step. 2 inches is not going to get him into base contact. Close, but it's not going to get him there. So he's just going to move 1 inch. He's going to shift. Oh, actually, no, we're going to shift with this guy right here. Boom. Drop him right in there. So now we've got 3 on 1. Just the way the beastmen like to fight. Outnumber them, then bring them down. All right. He is going to lunge with his 3, and he's going to be able to move 2. So he's definitely going to get in on this guy. Try to support his buddy a little bit. Maybe bring this guy with heavy armor down. This guy's going to turn around here. Which I should say, and I should have said this throughout the game. So the Chaos Knight in red and orange armor has a ruby ring, so he gets +1 to heavy melees. And the pointing Vestigor over here, Beastman, he has a curious upgrade on his armor, a curious upgrade on his armor, not a curious. So he rerolls 1 and 2 on the armor table. All right, we're going to drop this 2 down to a 3. And we're dropping all of these 3s down to 2s as well. So now we are into light attacks. Beastmen get to go first. So on initiative step 2, we're going to start with big, heavy armored Beastman who has not pretty much done anything this whole game. He's going to spend all of his initiative, which is 2 initiative. He's going to put it into this gentleman over here who has dared to come into the fray with him. So it's going to be a +2 into him, which is, he's not going to get any plus for his parry. Sorry, he has a great axe, so it's going to be a +3. +3 to nothing, which they roll 3-3, so it's going to be a 6 to a 3. Roll on the armor table, see what he does. It's a 4, so it's going to be damage as normal, which is 2 damage. So he's down to 1 wound. All right, so that was their first light attack. Now these guys, they only get 1 attack because they only have 3 dice to start with. So it's kind of like, gotta do it. So this guy is going to attack, and he's going to attack Mr. Heavy Armor. Honestly, I think that's the best bet because he's going to get that +1 for him. He's going to get a +1 for his weapon. He's going to get +1 for his ring. So he is getting a +3 against him. He can't dodge, but he is going to parry. So it's going to be a +3 to nothing. Well, that went off well. So 7 to 1. See what his armor does. Got a 4, so it's just regular damage. So not, I mean, okay, yeah, it's nice. I mean, he's down to 1 wound, but you're probably not going to kill, well, I mean, I know they're not going to kill him because they don't have any more attacks this round. Now, again, so we come to this place where I have 3 initiative dice on the Beastman team. And so they're going to drop all of them to 1. They're completely unopposed now because the other team is out of activation dice because so many people have either died or fled. So not necessarily a moot point, but just because, you know, you want to kill them all. So heavy armor is going to go right back in here with his great axe. So he's going to be getting a +1 for his great axe to no plus at all against this gentleman, which is going to be great because that's going to tie him and attackers win ties. So he will roll on the armor table. A 2 is not good. So he is dead. D-E-A-D Chelio. So at least it's not gruesome, right? He's just dead, like normal dead. So that's going to be the first of their step 1 heavy attack. He's on a roll. He's just going to go right for it again. Oh, he did gain 2 momentum, by the way, because he made a successful clash, and then he killed a guy. So he's going to spin both of those, so he's at a +3, +4, because of this gentleman next to him. So it's going to be a +4 against a +1 because he is going to block, and he has a shield, which is not enough. Not enough at all. See what his armor does. It's a 2, so he takes damage as normal, so that's going to leave him on 1 wound. And this guy is going to gain a momentum. And then we're going to let this gentleman over here, who has not got to attack, who I gave the cuirass to, he is going to heavy attack. So he's going to get a +1, +2 for his momentum. So that's going to put him at a +3, +4 because the gentleman next to him. Whoa. So +4 is actually only going to give him to a 5 to a 6. So this guy is going to successfully defend, which is buku awesome. I do believe that gives him a momentum for a successful clash defense. If I'm wrong, let me know. However, he's going to just get to do it again. So now he had his chance. Heavy attacks like, nah, you had your chance, my turn. So he's going to spend his momentum. So he's going to be at a +1, +2 for his weapon, +3 for a gentleman standing beside him against his +1 for block. Which is still not enough. Because he's going to be +1 for block because he has a shield, so he's at a 6. And even though this is going to be a +4, it's going to put him at a 5. So they didn't manage to finish this guy off, which is incredible, absolutely incredible. However, he is in base contact. He has lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gentlemen, one of them gruesomely slain. So he needs a 6 to not flee. And he does not get it. He flees the battlefield. Game is over. I still think this guy is the star of the show. See if I can't get a focus in on of him. It's not going to focus on him. Anyway, this guy, star of the show. Held off 3 Chaos Knights. A lot of good questions in this game. I feel like the game turned out really, really well. All of these guys survived. He is definitely moving closer to getting a name. Excited about that. All right. Thanks so much, Mr. Shinobi, Malev. This is great stuff. Love it.